Hey everybody, it's Peter Sinkevich. I'm back Friday, January 20th for my daily vlog entry. Today I wanted to talk to you about why I love startup and why I love this brand. The main reason I love startup, it's a really important thing to me, is because it allows me a blank slate to express myself, which is really important to me, right? And that happens in many, many ways. You know, the way I express myself to others, the change I want to be in the world, the perception I want to create. That's all extremely important to me. It's why I originally was in a design field, originally studied to be an architect, and why I've always done art, and why I dress a specific way. You know, the way people dress is a brand, and the way that you express yourself to others. So all those things are super important to me. Having the control and the creative part of that process, building the startup and the brand that is associated with it are all like extensions of my personality. So what have I learned about brand and, creating that for yourself? Well, brand has helped me do a lot of things, right? It's helped me learn about myself as an individual. It's given me a foundational process to discover my best self. So that's an iterative thing where, I'm constantly trying to be better than I was yesterday, last week, last month, last year. And just like software and the way that you're supposed to iterate startups, I'm trying to iterate myself personally. It's a very meta approach. I've also learned a lot about others. And in learning about others, I've learned even more about myself. So it's been this amazing growth process for me just as a person, never mind all the other cool things that come on the back end of that, like the people I meet, the experiences I have, the growth that I go through, even learning about the process of being able to grow and how to find, things out about yourself or others, the world and how the world works, how to express myself clearly or appropriately. And it's given me a certain amount of independence that I don't think I would have ever discovered otherwise. And that's also really important to kind of mention. I think when I was really younger, I always really wanted a certain amount of independence based on the way I grew up, and this was that expression, this opportunity for me to kind of do that. And brand and startup in specific was the vehicle to doing that, right? So what brought me to this place, right? And it was all about the branding exercise and the problem I had today. And problem is a good problem, right? So when I talk about good problems and this branding thing I was going today, I've been working on a new brand for I Love Startup, and this has been a really important thing for me because I kind of commandeered Milton Glazer's I Love New York logo when I first launched this brand for New York Tech Day. I had the brainstorm for the idea, I wanted to put it together, I wanted to launch it for New York Tech Day, I had a week to get business cards, a website up, and a way to describe this. So coming up with the brand had to be a quick thing that I'd go and revisit. So I commandeered I Love New York and made it I Love Startup with the big heart. But I can't keep that. So I hired this guy. He's here in Brooklyn. His name's Chris Brown. He runs a thing called xcbcreative.com. Amazing, amazing designer. Check it out. And Chris gave me 8 original designs. Some were really good and some weren't, but that's the whole idea of getting multiple concepts. I focused in on 2, which I just couldn't get out of my head, and had him revisit that with color because the first stage of that is just black and white. And I was so confused at the end of the process, I started asking everyone in my circle, my producer, my team, people that they know, everyone I'm coming across, what do you think of this? Which one sticks out to you? What do you like? What don't you like? Trying to get an indication of maybe which direction to go in because I was so torn. Had I been presented one of them without the other, I would have naturally taken the one presented, but because they came at the same time, I'm like at this crazy place, and that's why I call it a good problem. So why is branding important? Well, branding is the visual representation of my brand, personally and professionally, and of my startup. It's the first touch that anyone ever has, the first experience they have with you. They see your brand on a website, on a business card, on something, and they immediately derive a perception of what it is, what it's about, what it's doing, all of those things. And we talked about perception yesterday. So this bleeds into my passion, right? My passion for startup is because of all those things that it first allowed me to do for myself. It allowed me to break out of my shell when I was younger, learn about myself, become a better version of myself. Taught me how to express myself when I didn't know how to do that originally, and gave me the independence and the education about how the world worked and how others work, so I could operate better myself personally and just grow as an individual. So I'm super, super passionate about that. And so I feel like I Love Startup is the perfect encapsulation of me. I've spent my whole career doing this, now 24 years as a serial entrepreneur. So I'm super passionate for all of those different reasons. It's really, allowed me to go 180 degrees from the person I was 25 years ago in high school. And so, this is a visual representation of all of that. It's a visual representation of my passion. And I guess that's the brilliant line that my producer, kind of threw at me when we were talking about what we're going to talk about in this thing. So I have to weigh these two concepts. And what is the struggle I'm having between these two concepts? What makes them so great? Well, so as you go through life and you check out different design pieces and you experience different things in the world, you'll understand that simple is hard. Simple is actually really, really difficult. And so to be really successful at simple, which is what you should be striving for, it's memorable, etc., it takes a lot of work. And this first concept was brilliantly simple and memorable, and it's actually a little bit malleable, so you can put some personality into it. The second one, when Chris did the concepts, he focused on 3 keywords to describe the concept and then built the concept around those 3 words. And this one was represented by connection, network, and team. And that is also a very personal and passionate thing I carry with me. I'm super passionate about the connections I have in my life with people that I meet. I'm super passionate about my team and supporting them in any way I possibly can. And network is what allowed me to get to this place in my career as a serial entrepreneur and a startup founder. I wouldn't be able to do it without the network that I built, the team that I've created and is working alongside of me, and the connections that I make on a daily basis. So this expression of that was a heart that looks like a piece of lattice work, and it signifies all those connections and network and all of those disparate pieces coming together to make one whole, and it happens to be symbolized in a heart. I mean, I could go on forever about this thing, but I really loved that one. As you can tell, that was the one I gravitated to more, but I still need help. So if you can take a look at these 2 ideas and give me a little comment or commentary or reaction or feedback in the comments below, like this post, tell me what you liked about them, what you didn't like about them, tell me what you liked about me in this vlog entry, whatever. I'd love to hear it. Tell me to go to hell and jump off a bridge. I don't care. Subscribe, like. I hope you have a great Friday, a great end of your week. Peace, hustle hard.